in LA this week.
That's why we're out here today, is to make sure that we are reaching out and coming into those historically undercounted communities.
We know that the Latino community has been hardest hit by COVID-19. We want to encourage you that if you need the resources and you need the help, come on out and get it. That's what we're here for.
We expect the project to be completed by the end of the year. This is intended to be permanent housing for people with supportive services.
Hello, everyone. I'm Saida Pagan. Here's what's happening in LA this week. Even when the general election does not fall on the same year as the 10-year decade mark, the census is a political issue. This is the most direct way that the American citizenry gets representation from its federal government for its taxation. The census assesses and forecasts the needs of towns, cities, and states based on that population figure, which makes getting a thorough and accurate count crucial. Staff members from Mayor Garcetti's Census 2020 Initiative Office continued their summer-long campaign by touching down in Koreatown, their goal to hammer home the importance of being counted.
We're out in Koreatown making sure that folks have an opportunity to come get counted in the census, as well as get access to some free, no appointment needed COVID-19 testing here on site. So residents can come in, get tested, as well as get counted in the census to make sure that our communities get the funding and representation we deserve.
It's especially important for everybody to be counted because this is how the City of Los Angeles receives the funding it needs for critical programs that provide services for all Angelenos. Everything from housing, education, transportation, healthcare programs that really our Angeleno community depends on.
This is our one and only chance between now and the year 2030 to let the federal government know where we are, where we need our funding to come, and how much representation we deserve.
It is absolutely critical that we get counted in the city of Los Angeles and across the state of California. Our numbers are lower than they should be. We know the pandemic's had an effect, but it's absolutely critical. We depend on billions of dollars from the federal government, and the ability to have an accurate count determines specifically how many dollars come into our community.
Sí, es especialmente importante que nos hagamos contar en nuestras comunidades que históricamente no han sido contadas en su total. Entonces, para esas comunidades es especialmente importante que se hagan contar porque muchas de nuestras familias dependen de programas de vivienda, de educación, de salud que benefician sus familias y nuestras comunidades cuando nos hacemos contar.
If you need to respond, first go to my2020census.gov. And if you want to learn more, you can go to census.lacity.org to get some information.
There is a new term in the LA zeitgeist, and it's making many Angelenos nervous. The word is twindemic, and it's got the city bracing for impact. Fortunately, we were able to get Joanne O'Brien from LA Medical Services to pay us another visit. She sat down with Maria Hall Brown to give us more tips and information on being prepared.
I'm delighted to welcome back Joanne O'Brien, who is with the City of Los Angeles Medical Services. All right, I'm going to start right off the bat. What the heck does a flu shot do?
A flu shot helps your body make antibodies. And an antibody is a protein that will attack the virus in your body. So that's what a vaccine is simply. So when you are exposed to this virus, your body can fight off the infection.
So who should actually be getting these shots?
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everybody should get a flu shot, and especially if you have a chronic disease like hypertension, diabetes, cardiac disease. These are the things that make you more susceptible to your immune system isn't working as well. Mm-hmm. So that group especially should get a flu shot.
So why the push this year for a flu shot? Because there definitely is a huge campaign to get people cognizant and get people out there to get a flu shot. What is it about this year in particular?
Because of the pandemic, and I've heard the word the twindemic. We don't want two epidemics at the same time. If we don't protect ourselves against the flu and there is also an outbreak of the flu, that will really impact our healthcare system. which we're already dealing with COVID, so you might have this double whammy going on. So you don't want to impact the healthcare providers because we already have the pandemic. So this is really the most important vaccination you should get this year.
Can you get the flu from a flu shot?
No, you cannot. You cannot.
Because I've heard that, by the way.
Absolutely, I've heard it so many times. It's a myth, and I'll tell you why. You can get the flu shot, and then there's people who say, every time I get the flu shot, I get sick 2 weeks later, or 2 days later. The flu shot doesn't work until 2 weeks. Your body has to make those antibodies, and it takes up to 2 weeks. So from the time of getting the shot to your immunity, you could be exposed to the flu and get it.
And then, of course, COVID is very much on everyone's mind. And the symptoms are, somewhat parallel, but at the same time, specifically different. Because you mentioned fever, so that's something. So what are some of the things that you should understand the difference between the flu and COVID-19?
The similarities are just almost in line. They're very, very, very similar. They both can cause respiratory problems. Some of the onset symptoms for both are you're feeling achy, you have a fever, you may get a cough, you may have a sore throat. The one big sort of cardinal difference with COVID is many people will lose their sense of smell and taste. That does not happen with the flu. And this is the key. If you don't feel right, call your doctor. Go get tested for COVID. There's also, most doctors' offices have them, there's a rapid test for flu. So they can tell the difference. In about 10-15 minutes, it's similar to like the blood sugar machine.
So if someone wants more information, how can they reach out and get more information?
I would go to the CDC. There's tons of information out there.
Washing our hands is a ritual. Most of us grew up with it. It's second nature, right? Before you eat, before you cook, basically whenever you want to be sure you're not spreading germs. Well, LA City is taking steps to make sure residents think about it far more often than we used to by placing hand washing stations squarely in the public eye.
They'll be very beneficial to everybody, and just in case nobody has hand sanitizer or they can't get it, they can pretty much wash their hands right here.
But I was obsessed with washing my hands and hand sanitizer all the time. I'm the same. So nothing's changed with me on that, but it's very important.
I think it's a great idea. I think that they're very good for the public and the homeless.
It's very important because, like, if we get on the bus or train and touch like something, the railing, we can like walk up here and wash our hands.
Help each other stay clean so we can live. I mean, people are getting sick over it because we're not encouraging each other to keep the process up of staying sanitized to help each other out.
Among the many solutions prompted by the Los Angeles homeless epidemic, this is perhaps the coolest. That's right, 2-bedroom apartments from boxcars. It's a crazy idea that has seen terrific results. Take a look.
Well, Flyaway Homes was founded a little over 4 years ago by board members of the People Concern and other concerned individuals to try to develop a better model for developing permanent supportive housing in Los Angeles, to get it up faster, cheaper, and to get up enough permanent supportive housing to start to really solve the homeless crisis in Los Angeles. Now we're in the process of working with the city. We were awarded HHH funding from the city as part of their Innovation Challenge, and we're working on 3 to 5 projects with custom modules to put up, hopefully as many as 195 units of supportive housing over the next couple years. Every year, we're housing and supporting more people in housing as an organization and as a city, and yet we have more homeless people on the street. We're just not producing housing fast enough, and at 3 to 4 years or more per project and 500,000 plus a unit, we're never going to produce enough housing to house the population that's growing and changing over time. We're hoping to get our model down to where from site acquisition to completion it's 12 to 15 months.
Our model is simple but innovative in the sense that we're just bringing all the parts together. We're building with shipping containers. These are 8 by 20 shipping containers. 3 of those form a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom unit. So when we're working on the site work and preparing the site to receive these modules, our modules are getting fabricated off-site at different facilities, and when they're ready, and we install on site, and that drastically reduces our construction timeline.
We expect the project to be completed by the end of the year. This is intended to be permanent housing for formerly homeless families and individuals. And again, it'll have services provided by the people concerned to keep them housed healthy and safe.
Visit our websites, flyawayhomes.org and thepeopleconcerned.org.
Flyaway Homes and their partners have been able to reduce the total cost per client for housing in Los Angeles to about $109,000. We'll be sure to give you an update once this latest build is completed and ready for residents. We go from housing for the homeless to home sharing as a second income. Los Angeles has long suffered an affordable housing shortage as well as rising rents that are outpacing incomes. But the Los Angeles City Planning Office is looking for solutions. Chief External Affairs Officer Ye Kashijian zoomed into the Channel 35 studios to provide tips on the department's new internet portal.
Our department is one of the many that comprise the agencies that really support Angelenos and specifically providing a unique set of services. For us, we're largely responsible for maintaining our general plan, which is essentially a blueprint that prescribes policy goals and gives guidance on issues related to land use. The general plan is implemented through zoning regulations, zoning being, of course, a tool that this department oversees and helps implement through our community plan updates to really help regulate and shape the face and look of development and the buildings and everything around them throughout our city. We oversee the drafting of a lot of land use policies. It can entail issues or policies that help streamline and bring more affordable housing units online. For a couple years now, we've been working very closely with our elected officials and the various hosting platforms that engage in short-term rentals. So by that, I mean one that would protect and preserve our housing first and foremost, but at the same time, create a pathway for cash-strapped Angelenos to essentially be able to rent their primary residence. In terms of Airbnb and home sharing, it's more about just letting folks know that we understand the severity of the issue, both in terms of keeping and retaining our housing stock, and have been quite effective in really reducing a lot of these illegal listings. You can visit us at planning4la.org. That's planning4la.org. We've attempted to really create a website that is a repository for a lot of our information, and especially for home sharing, where you can essentially not just click to obtain information about eligibility requirements and more information about the program as a whole, but also enroll online.
The LA Business Council honors Council President Nury Martinez. Charter Communication helps bridge the digital divide. And urban forestry webinars spring up in time for tree planting season. These stories up next on City Beat.
LA City Council President Nury Martinez was honored with the LABC Renewable Energy Leaders Award at the 14th Annual Sustainability Summit presented by the Los Angeles Business Council. The council brings together forward-thinking leaders to share ideas on conservation and energy renewal. Council President Martinez was honored for her leadership role in helping the environment.
Thank you to the Los Angeles Business Council for this wonderful award. It has been a pleasure to partner with LABC for many years, specifically in the Northeast San Fernando Valley. I want to thank LABC for being a partner in this effort, and I also want to thank you once again for this incredible honor. Thank you very much.
Charter Communications has announced that they will extend their offer of free internet service for an extra 60 days for households with educators and students. This deal is for customers who live in a Spectrum market and currently do not have the company's internet services. The internet service has speeds up to 200 megabits per second and is essential for today's students and teachers. Charter first offered its remote education program in mid-March in response to the technology divide brought into focus by the pandemic. To enroll, call 844-310-1198, and a free installation kit will also be provided. The City of Los Angeles has launched an urban forestry series, Growing Vibrant LA Communities. This series provides solutions and tools to help Angelenos in creating and maintaining green neighborhoods. The series helped kick off the fall tree planting season, one of many steps LA is taking in the effort to fight climate change. The series will soon be both in Spanish and English, and a new webinar series called Lunch and Learn with the City Forest Officer will soon be launched. Webinars will focus on educating people on a variety of forestry topics. The inaugural event was kicked off by Mayor Eric Garcetti, City Forest Officer Rachel Mullerich, and members of the Community Forestry Advisory Committee. For more information, visit streetsla.lacity.org/growing-vibrant-communities.
Los Angeles is in a time of activism, a time of social disruption. It is in times like these that we remember change starts at the grassroots level of the community. Parents of Watts is a nonprofit organization that has encouraged the children of its community to stay in school and avoid drugs since 1983. They were joined recently by Councilmember Herb Wesson for a candid discussion on how the digital divide is fueling the disenfranchisement for the children of Watts.
What we are here for today is we want to deal and work with our homeless children. This company is going to give them laptops, clothes, shoes, food if they need it.
These homeless kids right now are experiencing what we call academic injustice because they're not receiving these devices so they can participate in academic achievement.
We as concerned members in the community, we as stakeholders have an obligation to our children to ensure that they get access to literacy and access to whatever other forms of types of justice that's available to them.
What this is all about is everybody working together, blending resources, and getting the jobs done. Because our most important responsibility is to educate young people, and you cannot educate young people today if they do not have the electronic devices and Wi-Fi hookup that they need to learn.
Understand how they feel when they homeless. Because I remember how I felt when I ran away from home, and that made me homeless. I know how that was, but it don't mean they bad.
What you have to do in order to identify the proper kids is you have to program with the organizations that are on the ground, that are on the front lines. And that's what we're doing more of now.
We want to deal and work with our homeless children, all the children. And when you get to heaven, you ain't gonna be but one no way.
It seems as though Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez is on a mission. She has elevated the practice of community giving to almost an art form. This past Saturday, she hung outside her district office distributing hygiene and household cleaning supplies because a little help goes a long way in supporting families that are strapped for cash. Check this out.
So today, Hispanic Star LA is here under the program of Fair Shot to give residents different types of products, everything from shampoos to fabric softener to just everyday household goods that you would need to help with the bills, so that instead of buying fabric softener, you can now help with the rent, which is very crucial during this time that we're all feeling the effects of COVID.
We know that the Latino community has been hardest hit by COVID-19. Pacoima, Sylmar, all of the communities that I represent are an example of that, and so they have come together to help provide the resources that they need in our community, and so we're giving this free giveaway today. There's going to be distributions that occur throughout the city of Los Angeles inspired by Latino Heritage Month. But it starts here in Pacoima, and I'm proud to say that in the city of Los Angeles, we're the heart of the city here in Pacoima, and this is where it's starting.
Hispanic Star was created with the purpose of helping the community, especially those most affected by COVID. So we have a commitment in different communities, in this case LA, to help our communities and our neighbors and our friends in every way possible with the help of partner brands.
It's important right now to donate to families that have lost their jobs, that don't have an income. These supplies that are, provided to help these people in their everyday hygiene is just something that's really important. Right now, the time is more important than ever to be able to just give back to our community because they don't have means to be able to get it on their own.
So we want to encourage you that if you need the resources and you need the help, come on out and get it. That's what we're here for. They're always welcome to call my office and reach out because we're happy to help facilitate getting them connected to the right resources that they need.
You can learn more about Hispanic Star by going to hispanicstar.org, and they have different hubs, different cities where we're activating. So we would love people to join, to donate, and just follow us in this wonderful mission that we have to help our Latino communities.
Councilwoman Rodriguez wasn't the only one handing out hygiene supplies this week. We were on hand in Watts, where Altamed marked its own celebration of National PACE Month. All-inclusive care for seniors was the theme of the day for this South LA event.
We're providing hygiene kits to over 200 seniors that live in our South Los Angeles community. We have hand sanitizers, toilet paper, mouthwash, and hand hygiene. This program here serves the senior population that are 55 and older, that are medically needy.
Today we are opening it up to community members who could benefit from the services that Altamed PACE provides. So we've invited over 150 community members here in South LA to come by, see what services we offer, see if it's something that they could potentially benefit with, especially with coronavirus going on right now. Patients need services more than ever before, and so we want to make sure that we're communicating to all of our community members that these services are here, they are in the community, and they are available to them.
Altamed offers a daycare service along with social activities.
Altamed PACE is here for anyone 55 and up. It's an all-inclusive program, so we look at a participant from a holistic perspective, not just from their medical needs, also from housing needs, food needs, social needs, anything that's going on. Please reach out to us. We are here. Everyone has a family member, a friend, or a relative that could benefit from a program like Altamed PACE.
To live in Los Angeles means that you live with traffic. As a matter of fact, in 1929, the intersection of Wilshire and Western was claimed as the busiest intersection in the world. Well, how much has changed? Actually, a lot. And I'm delighted to have someone here who can tell us all about it. The General Manager of LADOT, Salita Reynolds. So nice to have you here.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
You know, this is literally the second largest municipal transportation agency in the country.
Yep.
And the scope seems immense.
In LA, what that looks like is we manage and operate those 7,500 miles of streets, those 5,000 intersections. We also have a responsibility for parking, so we have 37,000 on and off-street parking spaces and meters that we manage throughout the city. And then we also have LADOT Transit, which we're very proud of. We're the largest municipal transit operator in the county. In a normal year, we move about 20 million trips. And then we also have a responsibility for regulating taxis, scooters, and electric bikes. So we have a really large portfolio of responsibilities.
Who would have thought talking traffic could be so much fun? All right, so let's move forward a little bit, because I know one of the things that you brought to the table when you came is the ability to get around the city in new and innovative ways.
Right.
Scooters and bikes and electric car sharing and everything. How are those programs going?
So far, it has been a big learning opportunity for us. You know, some of the things that government can do well, you know, manage a huge network of streets at scale and build out these programs that build out big infrastructure projects that take many, many years. That's what we're good at. We can kind of play the long game, and we can have policy goals that are about, you know, climate or public health or economic revitalization. The private sector is really good at being very nimble, being very quick, learning fast, and, you know, coming up with new ideas and experimenting in a way that we can't always do in government. And so having those, if you have those two things working together, you can really open up a lot of great opportunities.
And if somebody wants to follow up and wants to actually see what's going on across LA, what's the website they can go to?
ladot.lacity.org.
Awesome.
Check out the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center online. Go to the Cedillo's Drive-In movie and support a great cause. Or get your culture fix with Japan House LA from home. All this and more up next on Virtual Things to Do.
Online Zoom classes are back. Canoga Park Youth Arts Center has resumed its online music classes beginning October 6th. Join their virtual music classroom at home and learn a new instrument or continue building your skills. Classes include instruction for guitar, drums, piano, ukulele, and more. Class levels range from beginner to intermediate and are designed for participants as young as 7 years old. Brush up on your musical skills with the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center online music classes, happening Tuesdays through Friday, October through December in 2020. To register or for more information, send emails to caitlin.moss@gmail.com. Join Team Cedillo for Cedillo's Drive-In movie. Team Cedillo from Council District 1 will be presenting Frozen 2 to attendees Friday, October 2nd, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Available concessions will include Home State's gourmet nachos, Foliero's famous pizza, popcorn, soda, and more. All proceeds will go towards supporting Academia Advance Grab-and-Go program and Friends of Mount Washington's Community for Anti-Racism Education. Enjoy a night out at the movies with the whole family for a great cause. Don't miss the Cedillo's Drive-In Movies presentation of Frozen 2. Vehicle capacity is limited, so act now. For more details, call 213-440-7038. Japan House Los Angeles is a Japanese cultural destination in the heart of Hollywood. This amazing physical and digital destination continues to expand its offerings through a new curated series of online articles and programming, allowing fans worldwide to experience the complexity and beauty of Japanese culture from the comfort of their own homes. The articles delve into diverse topics of Japanese culture, ranging from art to philosophy to food. A new story will be shared each month with the latest dedicated to Sensory Japan, exploring Japan through the 5 senses. For an exciting taste of content exploring diverse Japanese culture themes, visit japanhousela.com. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
That's it for this edition. I'm Saida Pagan. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.